Hello, this is Carolyn. I know you were probably expecting somebody else, right? You were hopeful, and I don't blame you. Anyway, it is in the middle of the night, the middle of Tuesday night, and I was listening to some meditation music here. No, it's not really that effective. As you might have noticed, I'm awake. All right, meditation music, you're gonna have to stop. I don't know, or does it make a nice, peaceful background? All right, nah. I don't like it. I actually find it annoying to sleep. Maybe that's the reason why people go to sleep, to escape from it. It's like so annoying. Anyway, how did I manage to get a sore throat and a cold in 90-degree weather in the middle of summer? Well, here's my theory. I don't know if it's true that going from hot to cold, but I do that. I go outside, then I come back in. And because we live in this old house in Independence, Missouri, and so many things. See, I really, really wish I had somebody to help me just with everyday life. When moving into a house, you probably should wait, know if the heating and cooling is working effectively. But I don't think we checked. We didn't check on so many things. But you can run the air conditioner here. You turn the air conditioner on. Once you turn it on, it doesn't pretty much matter what temperature you set it to. It runs until it freezes over. And then it goes off, leaving you getting really hot until it melts and comes back on again. So what I've been doing is running it for just a couple hours, then turning it back off. But that requires being up and attentive to it, which means I screw up. But anyway, do you guys believe we live in some sort of a matrix or simulation of reality? Or is all of this just a series of events we are supposed to learn and grow from? I like that. It sounds more in-depth and philosophical, other than life is just random chaos. But I did see something this week, and okay, if you sit back and reflect on incidents and what you're supposed to get out of them, assuming that this is a series of events we're supposed to learn from. And because I live in a small, little, uneventful world, unlike, the exciting people, kind of like Candace Owens. Wow, she's exciting. But that ain't my reality. So I'm driving down Nolan Road, and if you have heard me complain about that road, it is busy, no matter when you're there. It's always a really busy street. But a woman is crossing the road, and if I were to be judgmental and assume, I think that she might be a homeless person. She's crossing the road, and all of a sudden, she decides that she's dropped something, lost a contact or something. Number one, it took big you-know-what to cross Nolan Road without sorry, my voice is about gone, without a stoplight. But she did. She starts walking. And I'm not the only one that stopped. There's somebody beside me and behind me, of course, because I gotta stop. But she's out there. And then when she gets like slightly past me, I can see she's got a handbag that's mosaic mirrors. These, do you know what mosaic is? A diamond. I love mosaic. I'd love to go back to doing that. Diamond-shaped mirrors, all on a big bag, not a little tiny like night bag, but like a hobo bag. And okay, not the most practical thing because it could reflect the light really badly to be out there playing in the street. People can't even see it. They're going to blind them in their eyes. And then she touches the ground out there. She's like, I'm thinking a contact, probably a meth pipe, but a contacts or something. And she's feeling the ground. I'm thinking, People are being so patient. I would fully expect if I pulled that move for somebody to run me over, and the perfect defense would be, well, Your Honor, she was wearing a mirror on her back. And the judge would probably say, yep, I see what you mean. Case dismissed. And then he'd say, you're lucky they didn't back up and run over you twice. I would have. No, I mean, I'm thinking, who am I thinking of? Judge Mathis, right? Somebody like that. What were you thinking out there? No, for real. But everybody was so patient. Maybe I was supposed to reflect that the universe is nicer than I think it is and more patient. This mean self chatter that I have in my head. Yeah, thank you, Mother. Gone, but never forgotten. No, I don't blame that on my mom. She would defend me no matter what stupid ass thing I did. But wow, she was a very, very critical woman. Very critical. But, okay. Did not mean to digress, and I'm sorry, YouTube. I didn't mean to use bad language. Okay. But anyway, she eventually got out of the road. Seriously, I was looking at the people beside me. We were all like, we look at each other like, what do we do now? Should we get out there and help? I mean, but seriously, the fact that at least in my head, I was contemplating getting out there, and that we weren't honking at her, and nobody was yelling out the window, which is really what I expected. I mean, this isn't New York City, but I would still expect that Kansas City mentality. It was about 11. It wasn't quite rush hour, but some people taking their lunch. Like, God, woman. But it kind of felt like we were like being empathetic to think, all right, let's try to see if we can help her find whatever she's looking for. And, Jesus or whatever she's looking for, help her find that so she'll get out of the road and let us pass. But a lot of weird things happen on that road. And I said before that I yelled at a man. I screamed at a man because he was on a bicycle and he was like way over in my lane. I go to a lot of trouble to get in the lane that's moving slow. I'm no way I'm in the fast lane. I'm in the moving slow lane anyway. I try to get out of the way, get there. Maybe I don't need to have all this anxiety because the universe is kinder than I think it is. It must be, right? And when I told the story to one other person, it was a man, and he said, oh, was she hot? Figuring the only reason we wouldn't run her over maybe is because she's like, no, like I said, she like kind of looked like a disheveled sort of homeless. Anyway, I have no life. Have you guys sense that? But I do have content coming, and it's going to be other people's home movies, so they might or might not be interesting. I'm trying to find out what the content is before I pay for it, because like I said, I don't know if you saw the last video, I only had 5 reels of film, but because they were long, I guess they counted as 17 items, so the price was a bit more. Like I said, I kind of just have one obstacle right after the next, but anyway, I should be sleeping, and I don't know. I take 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Maybe I need more. Maybe I just need a life. I oftentimes wish I had a trusted friend to help me with the mess that is my life. I would be so grateful. I was even going to let a person like stay here rent free, but then I tend to, draw in people that can't exactly be trusted. Maybe I should have asked that woman out there crossing the street. A woman, you seem like you're the usual type I run into. No, poor thing. She probably lost, I would like to think, her house keys or something. But yeah, it's like my friend said, when I was telling the stories at first, was she hot? No. Well, then she probably dropped a meth pipe and you guys were just standing there watching. Yeah, I don't want to take a cynical view. I'm thinking, what was I supposed to gain out of that experience? for one thing, slow down and be patient. Anyway, I'm going to try to actually get back to sleep and maybe find something to listen to that isn't so redundant and irritating. And, okay, have a wonderful week wherever you are.